Hey, Backlog Kids! And today, we're gonna take a look at what everybody's been saying is a good kit to start the hobby. The gateway drug to this twisted plastic addiction, if you may. Introducing the entry-grade 1144 scale RX-78-2 Gundam full weapon set. So yeah, today we're gonna dive into the somewhat young line of, air quotes, beginner-friendly model kits needing no other tools than your bare hands or whatever appendages you may have. To a seasoned model kit enthusiast such as yours truly, you may be thinking, wouldn't that be sacrilege? Oh, think of all the knobs, stress points, chipped plastics, and the sore fingers. Well, fortunately for you, I did build this without tools, so you didn't have to. And you can thank this selfless act of sacrifice by hitting like, subscribe, and by joining our Patreon. How did it go? What did the kit look like? Well, take a look at this.
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Okay, so for someone who has built dozens of kits taking extra care to make them as clean as I could out of the box, that was painful, both physically and mentally. I mean, my fingers were really sore afterwards and I stopped recording immediately and bailed, even if the runners were especially designed for taking the parts off easily. Man, Bandai's plastic is solid, I'll give him that. Also, you'll find that as expected, stress marks, chipped plastic, and knobs, lots and lots of knobs. To a beginner entering this hobby, this isn't really something you'd notice right away. I remember building my first Gunplas back when I was a kid. Didn't really know the existence of this tiny nuisance called knobs. Fast forward to today, and I try to eradicate them with every tool available. most of the time. Anyway, other than that, yeah, this kit is beginner friendly. Same as the 30-minute mission kits. The parts are laid out intuitively, so it's easier for you to grab which runner to take off the parts from. Which also, yes, takes a bit of time for some of the normal kits. Also, there aren't really that much small parts. The V-fin crest is molded with a forehead sensor, so it's gonna be hard to lose that thing now. Which I often found beginners posting online tend to lose. A lot. Anyway, I couldn't stand having this nub riddle kit over here, so let me just do a quick cleanup. Much better. So the proportions for this kit to me looks a bit stubby. Well, probably because the torso is wide and blocky. Kinda reminds me of the old HG kit proportions in a way. Colors are gonna have that anime accurate treatment, with the off-white with a hint of mint green, vibrant blue, red with a hint of orange, and the UC yellow, which is actually orange. Color separation is fantastic, having the rear head sensor be the only thing that you really need to worry about. Oh, and maybe the rivet things on the limbs. Also, this Gundam sports the elusive color separated V-crotch, which is a statement of the excellence of the color separation. I mean, if you have a Gundam or two, you'll probably notice that the V-crotch is the most commonly stickered part of the kit, aside from the eyes of course. Speaking of the eyes, one peculiar thing they did though, is that they extruded the part, leaving the supposed black parts as crevices. Which is kinda cool that the shadow gives an illusion of the dark part. Also kinda weird. When it comes to the seam lines, the only notable ones would be on the top of the head, chest vents, and the lower legs. Pretty great so far. And honestly, I'm very surprised how this simple kit is kicking the collective robot asses of most HG kits. In terms of accessories, your boy loves some weapons, so this comes with the full weapon experience. Let's start with the iconic beam rifle. A bit disappointed that the sensor isn't color separated, but kinda expected from the cheap price. The only movable part here is the sensor, leaving the usually articulated second handle static. It slots firmly in this kit's hands, and yes, they can be fitted to normal HG kits, if you so desire. Pairing with the iconic beam rifle comes with the iconic shield, which has a peg connector attached to it. This can be attached to both forearms and also at the back, which is awesome. I love me some loadout storage. The shield comes with a handle that you have to manually slot to change its orientation. Handle can be held by the hand as expected, and it fits snugly, allowing for some handheld shield poses. Next up, we get the classic Hyper Bazooka. Nothing fancy here, but it does come with the articulated handle so you can mount the bazooka in the shoulder. A bit disappointed you can't store it in the back. Although I'm kinda curious why the back skirt has a gap there. Could be a scrap connector part for the bazooka. Who knows? Moving on, we get a pair of beam sabers in which the hilts can be stored on the backpack. Oh yeah, the beam sabers are actually the same beam sabers included in almost all HG kits, so good luck tearing that off the runners without ruining it. Nothing special here, just a pair of your classic laser swords. Now what's great about this kit is that it includes the weapons that the Gundam used in the anime that rarely ever had a kit form, namely the Beam Javelin and the Gundam Hammer. The Beam Javelin being this stick with a supposed ball of beam energy with spikes, and the Gundam Hammer being this ball and chain with an anchor. I know, you guys are probably thinking, why does it have an anchor? I don't know, who cares? It's pretty cool. Anyway, both of these, like all the weapons in the pack, are all molded in grey plastic. A bit disappointed that the Beam Javelin doesn't really have the beam effect part, but beggars can be choosers. And also, I'm just very happy that the Gundam Hammer is here. It's such a freaking awesome weapon. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with what we got here. Classic loadout plus the fan favorite weapons. Also, this kit has the most complete weapon set out of all the iterations in the past, if I'm not mistaken. Otherwise, let us know in the comment sections below. Nerds. Just kidding, guys. Don't. Articulation time, starting with the head with the double ball joint, allowing the head to look up and down, and also full 360. Torso has a ball joint allowing some crunch and side to side. Pops off easily though. Also worth noting, the upper part of the red section is ball jointed for a bit of movement. Shoulders are on a hinge that moves upward for the final shooting pose. Shoulder armor can rotate and the arm is on a ball joint. Bicep swivel. Single jointed elbows with a nice bend. Ball jointed hands. Waist is on a ball joint, allowing for movement. Front skirts go up. You could probably split them due to the way it's built. Side skirts are on a ball joint. Legs are on a ball joint, so no Jean-Claude Van Damme. Pretty nice range though. Thigh swivel. Double jointed knees with a full bend. Ankles tilt. Ankle armor are on a ball joint. A bit tight though. And finally, a ball joint in the feet with the slipper joint. So yeah, this kit is really poseable. Like, really poseable. Not to mention, pretty solid. Though some ball joints like to pop off from time to time. Though it isn't like the recent loose ball joint polycaps. Reason is that this kit doesn't have any polycaps. So it allows the kit to hold the pose more impressively. I'm really impressed how the engineering of the kit is very simple, yet very effective. Size comparison time, let's compare him to the other Grampongs. As expected, this is your average size Gundam. Well, because it is the Gundam. I'm really glad Bandai stuck with the 1/144th scale instead of resizing it to another scale like the Gundam Universe thing, which I think is in a standard 6-inch action figure scale. If we didn't get the revive, this could very well pass as a sort of 2.5 HG. Also, look at how cool the Grandpa squad looks. Wow, that sounded a bit lame. Anyway, putting this bad boy in your shelf may get lost in the shuffle as he is the vanilla Gundam. Although, equipping him with the very distinct Gundam hammer will do the job in setting him apart from the rest. So overall, the entry-grade RX-78-2 Gundam full weapon set is a fantastic kit. Looks great out of the box with its charming anime color accuracy, awesome articulation, a nice array of accessories, and not to mention, a very damn good price at only 1,100 yen. This also comes in a much cheaper variant without the weapons, but I recommend grabbing this one instead. And yeah, I'd say it's a good starting point for anyone dipping their toes in Gunpla. Though, I would not recommend building this with your bare hands as it damages the kit and is a very unpleasant experience for your fingers. Well, not as horrible as building a bootleg kit. That's a whole nother experience. If you're just starting out, grab a nipper. Doesn't have to be anything expensive like a God hand, but any cheap nipper will do. Try saying that 3 times. Anyway, if you've been keen on getting into the hobby or if you'd like to get your friends in it, this is definitely a good starting point. Although, if you'd ask me personally, the Revive kit is gonna be what I'll recommend. But that's just me. Anyway, if you've been on the fence about this thing, just buy it. It's great and it's cheap. So that's it for the review. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you liked the video, give us a thumbs up, and if you didn't, give it a down, and let us know why in the comment sections. Consider subscribing if you like what we do, and don't forget to ring the bell so you won't miss a video. If you really enjoyed our video and wanted to support our channel's growth, come join our Patreon and help fuel Backlog Kid's editor get a new video card so he can render faster. Join us again next time for another Backlog Kids review. Oh hey, you're still here. Thanks for being a champ and staying all the way till the end. If you like this video, why don't you check out another Gunpla review over here. This part. V-Crotch!